let's talk about lead magnets for coaches and which one's going to be best for you and your ideal client, especially to help them convert to your email list and soon to be a client. Whether you're a business coach, health coach, anything around the word coach, this is going to be the right video for you to choose the one's going to be best for you to create, but also for your people to consume and later convert from. As a funnel optimization expert, I'm going to share the most effective lead magnet ideas for you to use today, and also which ones work best to convert your people and which ones you should avoid immediately. So with that, let's dive in. Now, you might have already had a lead magnet or even have thought about them drafted in your Canva or Google Docs somewhere. But before you try and finish the ones you already have created, let's talk about which ones actually matter most, especially the reason why behind them in the first place. In case you don't know, 1-minute summary, lead magnets are really important because a lot of people who find us now are finding us online, whether it be through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever. And once they follow us there, we have no control if they're actually going to be able to see our emails or post about our offers ever again. Because let's be honest, the reach on organic social media has gone down a lot. And even if you are willing to pay for ads, lead magnets are the easiest way to get the most bang for your buck. I've seen it before time and time again with lead magnets that my clients are using that are getting $3 cost per lead to even sometimes under $1 because they chose the right lead magnet and the best way to position it for their ideal client to want to say yes immediately and then later convert on the back end in the funnel as well. So there is a really big importance for it. However, I find a lot of times people who are trying to create the lead magnet end up trying to create something that they're seeing all the people in their industry do, which can be a good place to start if you're a beginner. However, I find that people forget about these three key things. The first thing is making a lead magnet very actionable and like hyper specific. So in case you are online somewhere, you probably have seen a lot of courses pop up in the last few years, but especially it's been a huge rise in probably the last year or two for smaller hyper specific courses, for paid courses and for free courses. And the reason why they become such a big rise because people have information overload online. We have so much information out there, especially your ideal client who is actively searching for someone like you to help them with their problem. So because of that, they end up seeing things that are going to be really big type of lead magnets or courses and feel overwhelmed immediately. When you give them a lead magnet that actually does a quick win, that creates that aha moment for them, that light bulb that actually makes something, whether it be for their mindset, for their gut health, or something in the middle, when you're able to choose something that actually is valuable enough to them, but actually actionable for them to take and they see a result from, the like, know, and trust factor that we've heard 1,000 times over just gets amplified tenfold because you just did something that is basically free coaching, that is basically showing your expertise and presented it in a way that is actually digestible for the people. Because too often people try and create these really big, large lead magnets. I've seen people who do it where they have, swipe files of 50 plus things or 30 recipes for free. And although that's a really beautiful gift to give to people, they often never use it. It becomes in their inbox or bookmark graveyard. So because of that, when that happens, they don't actually get primed enough to be more curious then about, oh wow, this person gave me that aha moment. I wonder what it'd be like then to be in their program if they already got me this quick win, this quick valuable piece. And again, this does not have to be something where it's an actionable tip that is like a very logical, do this to do that. Even a simple mindset shift, a perspective shift, you see all those times those people post and they're like, whoa, that blew my mind. You like changed the course of my day. That is what we're going for here. It does not have to be anything as specific or tangible as you might have seen for like the 10 ways to do XYZ. For some people it can be. For a lot of you, want to approach this in a way of how do you coach in the first place? What is your preferred way of coaching and what do you tend to find that you say a lot and that you coach a lot on? So I find that's usually the easiest way to begin to figure out what idea to choose for your lead magnet, because the way to actually present it, whether it be a PDF we're going to talk about in a second, a video series, a quiz, whatever it might be, that's the easier part. The first part is the hardest part, which is choosing the right topic and the right win for your people to actually then get primed and ready to convert on the back end once they opt in. So let's first start there for the moment. And to make this more interactive, what I want you to do is have a pen and paper out, notes app, Notion, whatever is your note-taking thing, and just start to write down these action steps. The first thing that I want you to do before you choose a topic is start to write down the main exercises or the main tips, the first things you usually give your paid clients, whether that be some type of mindset shift, whether that be something that you say often that you find you have people go through, an exercise. Write down those that first come to mind. If you don't know, this is an easy way. Pull up your Voxer or whatever you use to coach your clients, recorded calls, and actually look and search for what you tend to say a lot. The bonus tip that you can do, you can take those recorded calls, put them into a script and have it transcribe it for you, then plug that into ChatGPT and have it pull out the main themes and the main lessons that you gave to the client and action steps. And then you can just use that and start to then work that into your lead magnet. And the reason why I think it's starting converting from what you already have is the best way is because you've already validated it. You've already shown that this process that you take people through, this aha moment that you give them, because you have your clients who told you that it works, which is already half the battle. And later can be used for the actual opt-in page to say, have a screenshot from your clients who say, this was amazing, this was an aha moment, this changed the trajectory of my life. If you can start there first, it'll make your life a whole lot easier, and it'll make this process hopefully a little bit simpler for you to know where to start. So that's the first thing. If you want to pause that, come back to this when you're ready, feel free. I like to usually have about like 3 to 5 things that come from this, whether it be actionable tips that we gave them, exercises, quotes, aha moments, whatever is something that is, again, tangible, especially around situations that they are usually most keenly aware of right now. So in case you don't know, for marketing, there are different awareness levels for people who have no idea your topic. For example, if you're a health coach, if they have no idea they even are wanting help with health, they're not the right person for this, right? But if they have, let's say you're a gut health coach, which I've had actually a few of those come my way for clients. Your non-aware people are going to be people who are just living their life, eating all the dairy, eating all the things that are going to be like wrecking their health and don't care to change it. And that's great, live their life. Then we move on to the problem aware, where they start to notice maybe some like symptoms of IBS. They might not even know what IBS is at this point, but they might have that kind of issue. They might also notice there's been a lot more bloating. They might be holding water more. Like those are the symptoms of the problem. They start to seek out why this is happening through forums, whatever it might be. Then we move into more of the solution stage. So it's like, okay, this is the reason why possibly. Now, how do I fix this? And then finally, it's around that most aware stage at the end of this, or product aware stages, where they then start to realize, okay, what are the ways that I can actually make this happen and actually solve this problem? It's your program, someone else's program, a book out there. And then finally, they choose what's going to be right for them. So you can see how this kind of like begins the awareness level for them. So where I love to have this type of lead magnet be, if you really want to be effective and converting for your people, is around that problem and solution aware point, because they're now aware enough to know like, hey, I have a problem, but I don't really know what to do. Or they have had a problem, they've tried a solution before and it didn't work. So you can kind of find that as like your sweet spot, and the way to then look at that in the lens of your exercises and your aha moments. If you're able to say that to a client who was on the call with you, again, before they work with you, these people have not worked with you yet. So I love to say, to make sure that yes, you might give this exercise to someone who's been with you for 4 months, but would you give that same exercise to someone who's a month 1? If not, it might not be the right time to use that exercise. We might come back to it. However, it could be good to just like pocket away for a minute. So that's kind of how I have my lens of then from the ideas that I have from clients for exercises, tips, aha moments, whatever it might be. Then I have that lens of, okay, if they were in front of me right now and they were DMing me or on a call, we hadn't been we're not clients or coaching clients before yet, but they desperately need my help. And I'm like, I just want to give them something that would really help them to take that first step, that aha moment that they need. Then I would look at my list and say, okay, then which of these is the best option for them, and go from there. This is my most straightforward way to getting to the lead magnet idea. Other ideas, you can always ask your clients what was the most transformational lesson they had. I always love doing that as well. I actually created my mini course because of that, because I just asked one of my clients from an intensive, what was something that was really tangible for you that you felt like really did a lot of the work that you needed, but would be something that someone else could do. And that's where the money making bullet points came from, because trying to shove in a sales page optimization course in one go is insane. But what I can do is show you the third most looked at section on your sales page that everyone goes to before they decide, that can make or break their decision. Really specific. That one's more paid, but I want to show you kind of what that looks like. And on the free side, this is my checkout page optimization template. And the reason why I think this is really important to show you is because they both actually have not the same amount of value, but very close. The point where a lot of people who've gone through it have told me to make this template paid. I just want to give people value, and I believe, and if they can have that aha moment up front, it's doing so much more good for me. That makes my life so much easier. Once we hop on a call or in a DM, they're already halfway there to saying yes. So now that we've gone through all the ideas, because there's going to be 1,000 of them, there's probably other ways to get there as well. But let's just start with the top 2 that come to your mind. Again, find that awareness level plus what you already tell your people, find that middle ground. Okay, then how are we going to actually put this into a lead magnet, right? There's 1,000 different ways you could do it, from a PDF, from a Notion template, from a recorded call. There's 1,000 different ways. I'm going to give you a rundown of each of them and tell you what one might be best for your client and for you. Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure these lead magnets are easy for you to create, both as like someone who enjoys creating them, or you can obviously outsource it, or as a person who's going to be reading it or experiencing it as well. So the first one that we always know of is a PDF or Notion template. I kind of associate them as the same thing at this point. Like anything that is a written guide of sorts, I believe that kind of falls falls underneath this category. So PDF, Google Doc, Notion document, anything that's like written that is basically just a straightforward page, that's kind of going to be the first option. However, I find that people who are in certain industries who have people who are farther along in terms of their journey, so let's say you're working with someone who's like, you're a fitness coach, the people who are the beginners, who are just like, don't even know what a squat machine is maybe, or a deadlift or whatever it might be, they probably are more apt to getting a PDF because they just are information hungry. They will open up anything. However, someone who is a little bit more time strapped, so if you are working with people who are more advanced, who already know how to deadlift, they already know a B stance deadlift and all the fun variations, they probably will just look at the PDF. Again, the delivery of this topic, the topic's still good, but the delivery of a PDF to them is like, doesn't really feel as good. They feel like they've probably progressed past that. That's when you can move into more of the video or audio or quiz formats. I will say, and I'll give another video all about quizzes. Quizzes are a phenomenal lead magnet. However, they need to usually have some type of supplemental freebie with it, because lead magnets, especially as you already have known with quizzes, they're really easy to create in terms of you slap them up there. A lot of people usually convert from them because if you position them correctly, like through a personality type test or something, everyone wants to know more about who they are or what type of star seed or something or business CEO version they are. But a lot of people still need that aha moment. So I'm giving this kind of like flashing here that quizzes, although they are a really easy and fun thing, an interactive thing for your people to create, they are technically not a lead magnet. They are kind of like the pre-lead magnet that get them on the list for you, but they have not actually accessed that quick win yet to be primed to convert. So this is where usually for a quiz, you do have to pair it with some type of like, again, the video series or a written guide, something else that facilitates that quick win that can still be related to whatever answer they got on the quiz. So important, because I think so many people talk about quizzes and they are really amazing, but if they don't have on the back end in the emails some type of quick win for them, you're basically just creating a BuzzFeed quiz that no one really remembers that they even opted in for a month later and will unsubscribe. We don't want that. We want quality leads here. So again, quizzes are phenomenal. Just make sure you know that they are kind of like cotton candy. They're really fun. People love to like eat them, but they forget them in 5 seconds because they dissolve in 5 seconds. Versus more of these other ones around the PDF, around the guide, around the webinars, all that kind of stuff. Those will stick out a little bit more because they are, again, designed for that quick win action or the aha moment that quizzes just aren't as much. They're more information gathering versus like aha moment giving. That makes sense. So we talked about the PDFs, we talked about the quizzes, the webinars, obviously you've probably seen a lot of. I think webinars still, unfortunately, again, this is where your ideal client matters. If they're people who are time strapped naturally, a 45-minute to an hour long webinar is probably too much for them. They won't see the value in it as much versus if you were to have it be a smaller series or even something written as well that they can easily digest. It's a lot easier for them to do. So from these options here, there's also going to be many email courses you can do, a free coaching call you can do. There's, again, 1,000 different ways you can create this. The easiest way to choose is starting with what you find that you naturally like to create and that you also would want to opt into. So I think that's going to be the easiest way for you to start this with, because for a lot of coaches, your clients are some version of you, or at least some part of you that you already know or really understand. That's why you're helping them a lot usually. So because of that, you actually have a little bit more insight into who they are. If you still are not sure, always ask your people, ask your clients, ask your audience, and say, I'm thinking about doing this really cool topic. What kind of sounds most interesting for you to consume it with? You know, PDF, webinar, email course, whatever it might be. That's a really fun way to be able to also engage them and prime them and get them ready and excited for this free thing before you even create it. So that is kind of the scope of creating a lead magnet idea and deciding which kind of delivery option to choose. Granted, I know this is still a really high level overview. If you do want more support with this, I do offer one-off calls because I know this kind of work can be a bit headache inducing to try and figure out on your own, but I'm hoping this video at least giving you a starting place to know what the best lead magnet ideas are for coaches, especially for those who are wanting to have it be more of a converting lead magnet versus just a fun quiz. I love quizzes, again, separate video on that, but I know that for a lot of you, you're wanting to create these as a way to actually help your people, but also to help them to become clients down the road if they're the right fit. That's what I want this video to help you do. That will create something to help that facilitate that outcome for you. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you found this useful, please go down and like, comment, subscribe. I do a lot of videos here around how to help you sell more of your products and programs in a way that feels good for you and also converts your clients. So this is a perfect place for you to be if you're wanting to help to optimize more of your funnels, your pages, and products going forward. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.